Hello, thanks for coming in and taking a look at this fantastic 2017 King Aire. My name is Katie O'Neill. I'm here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in sunny Frederick, Colorado. Again, that's Transwest Truck Trailer RV. Find us on YouTube. My contact information is 303-562-8659 or katie.o'neill@transwest.com. If you've got any questions about this unit, we do have a link below. The stock number is 5U210889. Today you are in for such a treat. Let's go ahead and, as usual, I love to do these RVs inside out. Let's start from the back. Jody, take her on back. So today's RV is a 2017 King Aire. The floor plan is 4519. Again, that's 4519. And this is an absolutely stunning coach. I love the sable maple wood finish. So of course this is the high gloss. But one of the best aspects of this RV is really just all the attention to detail. The client that ordered this initially did go with the camber interior and the sable maple high gloss finish, but they did a lot of special little features, like for instance the tile is different, the exterior paint color is different. They've got some different surfaces that they've included throughout this RV. But take a look at this dual vessel sink for his and hers. Of course, we've got our traditional backlit mirror. This 2017 King Aire is absolutely stunning. So first and foremost, there's a ton of storage in this unit. And this RV is really only rivaled by its successor. So the 2021 King Aire is really the only competition for this coach. You know, it's got so many amazing features. We'll take a look later at the 16 AGM batteries down below. So two banks of eight batteries each, with two 3,000 watt inverters. So tons of power, just really capable RV. But look at these finishes. So first and foremost, one of the things that I think is really nice about this King Aire is all of the storage in this RV. There's just a phenomenal amount of storage space. Of course, as you would expect, all of these drawers are full extension, soft close. Really nice amount of space here for towels. On both sides, you'll note that we do have our 110 outlets, so you've got plenty of room for your hair dryer. But God, look at how lovely these sinks are. I just really love the faucets coming out of the wall. I love the backlit mirror. Just so many nice adornments. And then look at this closet. So, you know, just super nice to have a cedar lined closet, tons and tons of shelving space. You've got a built-in shoe rack as well. A lot of hanging space. You'll note that when I opened that cabinet, the LED light above did illuminate, which is great. So really love that aspect of it. And then here on the other side, we have, of course, our traditional safe. Oh, and look, I found a key. That's the safe key. That was very nice of them to leave that. I'll put that right there in the shoebox. But two little spots here to hang, so you've got maybe your blouses and your sport coats. It's just a nice place to keep all of your goods. Now, of course, this RV would always be welcome at any of those really high-end RV resorts. When you roll in with a King Aire, especially one that nobody else has, you really just get that kind of signature level of panache. But what's interesting is the new 2021 version has some really cool features. Please, I've got several videos on those as well. But what's nice about this is this has got the ManaBlock system for the water. It's got all of the AGM batteries, so tons and tons of battery power, more than anything else in the market. But it also has all of the storage. So this is a really nice segment, because in the new King Aire, it's very beautiful, but you don't have as much storage as you do in this RV. So we'll look at that as we go through the product. Now you also will note that in the 2017, we have here not only a beautiful rain head shower head, but we also have a steam shower. I mean, how spectacular is that? or maybe it's not, I'm sorry, not a steam shower, but a directional shower that has these little faucets that come off and actually spray at you, as well as our teak bench, and then our linear drain. Look at this beautiful stone inlay. So one of the really spectacular features about this RV is the shower. I mean, this is a very residential style shower. And as we pan over to the washer and dryer, you'll note that we do have in this unit the cathedral ceilings that really gives you all of that additional height. So for those of you that are really tall and you want to be able to take a shower, I mean, this shower head goes this tall. So there's a lot of headroom there. And then we'll take a look here as well. So really nice Whirlpool, a stackable washer and dryer. Great little drawer down here to keep all of your cleansers and, you know, dryer sheets. Of course, they've got their fire extinguisher in there as well. But just really, really lovely accommodations. Of course, one of my favorite things, I love a good robe hook, and it's in a great location. You can actually reach it when you get out of the shower. So we'll step down here into this bedroom. And you know, who is this coach made for? This coach is made for people, they might be just getting out for a long weekend, a week or two, or somebody who really wants to live in the RV. This is a very residential feeling RV. As you can see, we do have our Sleep Number radius corner mattress. This is a king size. And one of the things I really like about this RV is if you're staying in a beautiful place that has vistas that you'd like to see out behind you, not only do you have an exit door that for an emergency exit, but you also have a window behind your headboard. So I really love this kind of geisha type of Japanese screen. I think that that's just lovely. Again, I mentioned earlier that this is the camber interior decor. This is all of the original bedding. Please note, it was in a storage box, so they were obviously using something else, but this consumer really gave us all of the original equipment back with this RV when they took their new one, which is very nice of them. Jody, if you could just zoom in on that little nightstand there. There is a charging block on top there, so that little circle that you see on top is going to be for wireless charging, and then below you also have your 110 outlets as well as your USB ports. And then I'll just show you some of the storage here as well. So there's great storage here for your water bottles, anything that you'd like to store next to the bed that won't tip over while you're driving. But as you can see, there's plenty of room on these nightstands, really comfortable. The details on the King Air are just endless. You know, you can see all the tufting above the headboard. In this pocket door here, you can see how beautiful this is with just these extra little, you know, details. And I would imagine that with this foam base, you probably have a little bit of soundproofing as well. Jody, if you wouldn't mind, would you step back into the bathroom? I'm going to go ahead and show them a really, really cool feature of this RV. So let me just close this door really quick. There's Jody. He didn't know I was going to do that. I got him. All right, so again, back to storage. So one of the things that's really nice about this 2017 is we still have in this RV all of our initial storage. So as you can see, I'm going to hold one of these open with the Revis shelves. So Revis shelf does these little sliding drawers for us throughout, but so we still have all of our drawer space up here. And we do lose this in the 2021 model. Now, of course, we do gain about 100 new features, but look at how much storage there is. It's really, really impressive and super well done. Like, you know, what a great idea. You know, it looks like hanging space, but you've got tons of that in the back. So to have little small drawers to keep bathing suits and underwear, socks, all of those things that you have while you're on the road. And someone has, well, I don't know, I've done hundreds of videos. I do get comments sometimes saying, hey, why do you open all of these? And the truth of the matter is that I open them all because if you'll notice, these are different depths. So if you're putting different items in there, I had a client who's got an RV on order with me. He told me that he's watched my May 14th video at least 20 times, and he's using it to pick out all of the supplies for when his RV arrives in November. So that's why I open all these doors, you guys, because it's really important. Did I say cuz? Because it's really important to understand what your storage capacities are and this is that place where I can kind of show you what to expect in your new RV. And you'll notice I'm standing here now on this Moore floor. So Moore floor, of course, is a very spectacular invention thanks to Newmar with our HWH hydraulic full house slide. This slide goes up and in. We will see that later, but because it does, we are able to have tile completely covering the entire coach. So in the bathroom, in the bedroom, no carpet on the slide, and in the front of the vehicle as well, you know, all the way up through the kitchen and galley area. This is all heated floor. It is electrically heated. It is not heated by a hydronic system, although this coach is fully electric and does have hydronic heat, completely different from the electric heated floor. So you've got a few different ways to heat this coach. Of course, you've got your Penguin heat pumps, you've got your hydronic heat underneath with a fully electric coach, you've got a tankless hot water heater heating 105 gallons of fresh water, 60 gallons of gray water, and 40 gallons of black water, so really good capacities there as well. But all of that is tankless hot water, so that's super, super nice. It means that you can literally, if you're plugged in and at a really nice resort, if you want to come in and sit in the shower for, you know, 45 minutes and take a little bit longer in the restroom, just like you would when you're at home, you can do that because, again, this is a very, very residential feeling coach. It's just like taking a luxury apartment out with you on the road. So let's talk a little bit about some of these control panels that we see here. First and foremost, it's really nice to see you've got all of your tank control here. You can see your AC power, you can see your DC power. We're running the generator right now. You can see what is coming off of that generator. You can see how much water you have. We've got our climate control system. So all of this is just a really, really nice feature, but our camera system, oops, there we go. So we can go through and see our different cameras. And this RV does have the security system, so we also have a view of the interior here. So if you had your door closed and you heard something at night, you would be able to come back and just make sure no one was in your coach. And then you'll notice below here that we have, this is going to be our enabling system. So when you walk through this coach, you can turn your lights on and off automatically. So you can set that so you don't need to leave lights on at night. As far as these controls here, these are for your ceiling lights, dresser, all of those things, and you'll notice that you also have, you can turn this down so you can actually leave this unilluminated in the evening. It'll still be there, it'll still work, but it won't have that glow to it. And Jody, if you wouldn't mind, I love these courtesy lights below the bed, and you can just see with this high polished floor, it's really beautiful. You can see, you know, how nice that is. You would be able to easily go to the potty, you would see everything that you needed to. And then let's just lift here. Here are all of your hose attachments for your central vac, as well as the separator for the both convection and microwave oven, and the original chairs. So I just sold a 2021 King Air pre-owned to a client that didn't get chairs. It's kind of a bummer. It's always nice to know that all of the original equipment is here. I think it shows very much so the caliber of the person that had the coach before in just their general courtesy. Okay, so let's take a look here. Look at this pantry. So I'm going to just show you from here. It opens all the way up on this side, but I love the way that this can slide out, and it's completely adjustable, so you can change the height of these shelves. It's really, really just a very cool Rubbershelf feature. Of course, Rubbershelf does really high-end luxury homes more frequently, and this is a really high-end luxury home. It just happens to have wheels on it, so that's what that is. And then our matching Whirlpool refrigerator. This is a 3-door. I know a lot of people request that. It does have the water filter right there. And then also, oh, let Jody pan through and show you that temperature controlled cheese and meat drawer, as well as veggie and fruit drawer. Water on the door. No ice on the door, but you do have an ice maker. And as you can see, the air conditioning and freezer work very well. We have a very solid block of ice in the freezer from the melted ice. So hey, you know, it works. It's awesome. Okay, so to continue on through the kitchen before we get into the galley, let's take a look here. What a magnificent amount of counter space you have here. So for those of you who are actually currently RVing, it's important to understand we've got a 33-inch deep counter here at the narrowest point. This is so spectacular. And look at back here where my tip of my thing is. Do you see this beautiful accent light that glows? I mean, that backlit tile accent light, like how spectacular is that? And then just from a length standpoint, at the shortest length, we are 72 inches wide, so 6 feet across for our counter space here. And if you'll also note, we have this magnificent farm style stainless steel undermount sink. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, just so much spectacular storage throughout this coach. It's funny, you know, right now we are always kind of trying to find what we'd like to do our next video on as soon as we finish the first one. And I'm filling in for one of my colleagues, Grant. We'll see him, I think he'll be back next time, so not this following Friday, but the one after. But when I found out that no one had made a video on this, I was just awestruck, because this is by far probably, I think, the best value in the parking lot. I would certainly take this RV over most of the newer, you know, maybe King Airs, not newer King Airs, but the newer London Airs, the newer Essex, because in this RV, you're getting all of that extra power, you're getting all of those extra inverters, and you're at a lower price point. So this RV had an original list price of $939,000, so $939,657, and you can buy this RV for under $600,000 now, with only 21,000 miles on it. So that's a really, really cool feature. The other thing I think that's really important to mention is a new King Air is stickering right about $1.4 million. So, you know, to be able to come in and spend less than $600,000 on a vehicle that can only be replaced with something that has 2 commas in it, I mean, holy macaroni, that's amazing. What I meant to say macaroni, I said macaroli. That's a new word. I make up a lot of new words in my videos. Sorry about that, folks. But no, seriously, holy macaroni, that is a really, really amazing value proposition for anybody who's looking to get into this higher echelon of coach. So of course, Newmar does this in everything. They have these beautiful cutting boards on the back of their stove covers, but I want to just show you, because I'm sure not everybody watches all of my videos, but this is a removable cooktop. So this comes out, and what that means is this true induction is a huge safety feature. So for those of you who are not familiar with an all-electric coach, one of the benefits is you don't have that 22-gallon propane tank that would come standard on this RV. So you have that extra base storage underneath, and then on top of it, if I wanted to boil water, I could put a paper towel down on top of the stove. I could turn it on high with a pot full of water and boil the water without that paper towel catching on fire. So huge, huge safety feature in terms of being fire resistant. But then on top of that, you can adjust this beautiful true induction cooktop to either 1 through 5 or high, medium, low. You can set your temperature if you want. So if you're searing something, maybe you're doing ahi that evening, or you know, some other, you know, like a nice hanger steak, whatever it is that you might want to sear, you can really get a very extremely hot specific temperature and cook with very, very accurate measurements on this stove. And because it's removable and you can take it in and outside, if you want to make something like trout, you know, maybe you've got something that you caught fresh for the day, or maybe it's just breakfast and you want bacon, you can cook that outside on your true induction cooktop, and that would allow you to have only one set of pots and pans. And we all know that space saving is a big deal. So I'm going to put this back. Now, it's important to understand, if you don't put these back with their edges correctly, they don't fit. But if you do, they fit just perfectly. So really nice, great amount of counter space, great cutting board. You could have all of your goods out here. Of course, we do have a really nice deep dishwasher right here. As you can see, this has been relegated and returned into its initial meant to be fashion. It is now a silverware drawer as opposed to a remote drawer. In most of our new RVs, it looks like that's the place you keep your remotes. But look at these full extension drawers. I mean, so much storage in this RV. I really, really love how much room you have. And I just saw some of the shelf adjusters. Like I said, this RV came back with all of its original equipment. And then we'll just go ahead and take a look underneath here. Again, rubbish shelf for your cleaning supplies, for your trash can. So just really nice that everything comes out. It's super easy access. Very, very smart design. Of course, this is Newmar's crowned jewel, so you'd expect nothing less from a phenomenal company. I love the little spice drawer. I mean, what a great feature. So really, really nice here. Down here is your kick plate for the central vac. I know we saw those extra hose attachments earlier, but just easy to sweep. The color of this floor is really nice because it's going to be something that you can actually, you won't see all the spots. It'll really hide any kind of debris until you have a chance to clean it. So if you've got, little guys running in and out, or puppies, things along those lines, sometimes those lighter porcelain floors really kind of show everything. This is a very nice camouflage type of situation. Now that brings us to this really cool table. So one thing that I think is kind of cool is, first of all, this can come out. So I can get in here and have plenty of room to put my feet up and have a glass of wine and watch a movie. I can bring it closer in and be able to have my breakfast. This also lowers, so I can convert this area into a bed. So that's pretty cool. But the other thing that's kind of nice about this is, one of the things that we're really interested in the RV industry, of course, is going to be to have walking space. So this comes in, and when I pull my slides in, and you'll see this in a little while, we have complete access to the restroom right here through the center of the coach with your slides in while in motion. So now that we've covered kind of the eating situation, I'll show you these overhead cabinets. I love that you have this really fantastic amount of storage, once again, for all of your cutlery, all of your tape, all of your plates, your bowls, your coffee mugs. But you'll note that this client special ordered this coach to not have the cabinets above the sitting area. So they've got these really beautiful, super nice recliners, and they didn't put the cabinets all the way across, so you have these magnificent windows that are open all the way up. And one thing that's different in the 2021 versus the 2017 model is you'll note that we have windows that open. So that is a feature. There's a few different schools of thought. Some people like the new big glass windows that don't open, but all of these windows have this feature that open down below, so you can have ventilation in the coach. So if that's a question that you had, just wanted to show you that. Also, let's see if I can just do, there's my day shades coming down, covering everything, and I also have the same degree of night shades as well. And so my night shades look just like this, and I'm just going to do the one because I don't want it to get too dark in here, but I could completely black out the exterior for the morning if I wanted to. If I had somebody sleeping in the front. Now they would be sleeping either here in their recliner, I guess I should have moved that forward a little bit, or they would be sleeping on the couch, but they wouldn't be sleeping on an extendable bed. So Jody, I'll just show those quickly. Nice drawer space here. Again, all of your original remotes where they belong, which is so nice. And you'll notice that I do have my cheese and crackers out here just to kind of show what you can expect while you're there. By the way, this is the original brochure, so I did print that from whoever it is that is going to own this coach next, so they would have that for their files. But these tables and chairs, or I'm sorry, these couches are extendable this way. So they're not your traditional jackknife. So if you wanted to know how those work, just a little release here. So you've got two sets of recliners. If you're having some couples over, everyone's sitting around, hanging out and talking. Uh-oh, did I just jam that? I did. I jammed it. That's what you would do. Hold on a second, folks. Oh, I don't want to break it. Okay, I'm going to let that be. Okay, let's go ahead and let that be. All right, so really nice feature there with those extendable couches. And then let's go ahead and put this TV lift down. And you can see how that goes. And then up above here, again, just some more really magnificent storage. And like I said, so this was a special ordered coach. So the customer who took delivery of this really put a lot of thought into it. And of course, in my industry, we do have a lot of folks that'll roll in and out of coaches every 2 to 3 years. So in true, regular fashion, came in, picked up another coach, special ordered once again, and left us with just a really magnificent package, or magnificent RV. There's our sound bar overhead, and then the only thing we haven't covered thus far is this mid bath. So Jody, I'm not going to go in there because I don't want to take up all of this space, but I'll let you go ahead and take a quick zoom through. And as you can see, tons and tons of room here for extra linens, towels, and then of course really nice open window. Once again, you have these fantastic fans in all of the cabins, so they're all rain sensor. You've got fresh air in the kitchen, in the mid bath, and the rear bath. Everybody has their own fan. And then right here you have all of your fuses, so really easy to access control panel right there. So now let's go ahead. Oh, our air conditioning just kicked in. And we're going to head up to the cabin. Here we go. Catch that? I mean, just tons of storage. And take a look. We're gonna take a look at some of the technology for driving in this RV today, because I know that there'll be a lot of people who say, well, is this still 600 horsepower? Is it still on the Spartan K3 chassis? Does it still have 1,950 foot-pounds of torque? The answer is unequivocally yes. And this coach also has a 20,000 pound towing capacity and is wired so that you can actually use it to trailer anything. And then as we're walking through, take a look at this really beautiful decorative ceiling. And what's so nice is all of your returns are covered, all of your vents are covered. So just a really beautiful high finish ceiling. And I'm going to grab my clipboard, Jody, while you get up front, so don't miss anything. And I found it useful to have my tape measure just in case we need to measure anything while we're going through things. If you have any questions, by the way, these are live videos on Facebook, and on they're then posted recorded on YouTube later. You're always welcome to go ahead and put down in the comments down below if you've got a question, and I can answer it there. But you can also chime in on Facebook Live, and Cherish is behind the screen operating everything. Jody's my cameraman. They have communication, and they can ask me any questions that you might have. So please tune in. We do these videos every day at 10 o'clock. I always do mine about a half hour late. I'm always a 10:30 person. I take a little more time in preparing because I like to decorate the coach. But if you do have questions when you tune in live, you can actually ask questions during the video that I can answer for you. Okay, so let's just have some fun here. So first of all, one of the things I would have a question about if I was a consumer is what does my dash look like, since it's a 17? And I know we have that beautiful new digital dash, but the truth of the matter is Newmar was really ahead of its time, even in 2017, in offering you a fully digital dash. So they already had all of these different things, and it's so nice. You can see you've got a clock here in the dash, and I know that that sounds unusual, that I would think that that's important, but you've got your clock, you've got your odometer, you've got your miles till empty, you've got everything that you need to know right here. And keep in mind that this has got 1,950 foot-pounds of torque at 1,200 RPM, so this coach is a absolute beast. So I wanted to kind of show that off. I think that that's really important. Now your comfort drive is now at an electric setting, but it's still sitting here. Just to cover what comfort drive is, if I turn the wheel of this coach while I'm driving it, you'll notice it's going to go back to center. And what that means is this coach is very easy to steer. The tag axle makes it have a very tight turning radius. It also gives it a really nice level of buoyancy. But when I'm driving down the road, Comfort Steer allows me to stay straight without having to fight the wind. So a huge relief in driver fatigue is offered by Comfort Steer. And here you can set that adjustment so you can actually tell the coach how much resistance you want it to have. If you want it to be fairly light on comfort steer, because maybe it's not a very windy day, you can do that. But if it is a really windy day, you can turn that all the way up, and then what you've got is you've got an RV that's fighting the wind instead of having you do that, and that's really going to allow you to drive a much longer distance without getting as tired. So the very important feature there. Of course, we still have all of our great features here. You'll see we have our control here for our center console. This coach does have the extra additional cruise control that has the adaptive distance, so it can follow the vehicle in front of you. So those are new features on a lot of RVs, but this RV does have that optional feature that was offered in that 2017 model year, as well as wireless charging docks, not only next to the bed, but also up front here for the driver. You've got heated power mirrors, of course. There's your brake. Of course, you've got your engine brake as well. And then over here, you'll see that this is where you would operate your engine brake, and you've got high, medium, and low. So you don't just have 2 settings. You've got 3 settings. Your 4,000 mH Allison transmission. You've got, of course, your HWH auto leveling system, which of course is really very, very nice, and it's also the same manufacturer that allows us to have those slides and our fantastic step, which we'll see in a minute. And then this headlight system here is going to be something that really differentiates the King Air and the Essex from all of the rest. This is something where you can adapt the level of sway or road feel that you have in the drive, so that you have a more comfortable, more stable drive across country. And I spoke with a good friend who bought an Essex from me a few weeks ago yesterday, and he had traded in a 2013 King Air that did not have this system, and he does have that new system in his Essex, and he was absolutely floored at the difference in just overall control that he had in driving that Essex, and how much more comfortable it is. And he stays up in Breckenridge and goes back and forth between here and Texas. So a lot of long distance driving, and could not speak highly enough of that experience. We have a fantastic test drive here in Colorado. We've got a lot of frontage roads. We also have a lot of mountains nearby, and we are certainly not afraid to get you out on the road so that you can have that driving experience that would allow you to make a good decision. I really am a big fan. I came from luxury auto sales. I worked in Mercedes-Benz and Audi for 20 years. And I'm a really big fan of getting people behind the wheel, because I think, what was that old saying that I think my boss Trent used to say, the feel of the wheel seals the deal. So if you like to have that, we're really close to DIA. We sell a ton of product all over the country. We can deliver for you. And you can come out here and really get that driving experience that you'd like without being in congested traffic. We have a lot of wide open, beautiful roads around here, and a lot of beautiful, of course, we've got the Rocky Mountains, a lot of nice steep mountains for you too. Okay, so here we see our Rand McAnally nav system. We've got one of our cameras up here right now. And as you can see, you've got your grid lines, you've got your 360 overhead camera. So if you were concerned that maybe by going into 17 you might lose some of those features, you have not. Front fan, overhead fans, 360 camera, all of those great things. We are running off of our generator right now, so I am going to go ahead and stop that so that while we're outside it won't make as much noise. But as you'll note, that generator is here underneath the front, and that's a 12.5 kilowatt Onan quiet diesel generator, of course running off of your diesel tanks. That generator is in the front of the coach, not anywhere near your sleeping accommodation, so of course you're going to have a much quieter, oh, I just pulled the key out, no more video for us, but a much quieter experience there. Of course you've got your climate control here, and then this Total Vision remote control camera system, this is for your trailer. So this, if you've got a stacker, you can actually have a camera behind you, even in your trailer. So that's really what this RV is meant for. It's meant for towing things very confidently and inspiring you to go further places and to be really more comfortable in your RV. Little cabinet here. And then here we have, of course, the brains of the operation. There's that same control panel that we had in the back up front. And you'll note here too, I wonder, you know what I was thinking I don't have out? Awnings, drapes. I did not put out the driver's side window awnings. I wonder if I can put those out right now. I don't hear them. So we have awnings outside. I didn't put them out for the video today. I apologize. I should have done that. And I also didn't do the Girard awnings. I'm not going to do it right now, but this coach has awnings over all of the exterior windows. So even in really bright situations, you can have much reduced sun impacting the heat inside of your coach. And then it has two really decadent awnings outside that you can have plenty of coverage for. What is this? Oh, look at this. I mean, when I say these guys, that's a tire pressure monitoring system. These guys really left every single option that they have on this RV in here for you. Really, really amazing previous owners. I can't thank you enough. And if you're trading your RV in and you haven't thought to do this for the next buyer, it's just so so important for us to be able to inspire confidence in the following driver, and just operating their vehicle. So please do try to return all those things. And if you take something out, you can always just keep it in a plastic bag in the garage or the basement until it's time to trade it in, and then just give it back to us. That bedding came back, the original bedding came back in a really nice tote. So they left that for us. So we are going to pull these slides in today. This is a feature that I thought was really important. Just candidly, different manufacturers have different levels of walking space and living room space in their coaches. Newmar tends to make a very deep, very comfortable, very residential style couch. And one of the things that struck me today, when the person who details our coaches for us for our videos parked it, thank you very much, by the way, Chad. You do a fantastic job every time. There's a lot of people, by the way, who are behind the scenes in making all of this happen for us. But he parked it the opposite direction, so I had to bring all the slides in and turn it around. And when I turned it around, I was like, gosh darn it, this coach has a ton of walking space, comparably to a lot of other RVs in its segment. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these slides in right now. And it's also going to allow us to take a little bit better look at some of the unique features about the King Aire underneath the coach. So as you can see, that hydraulic slide lifts up and then it comes in, and it's really, really impressive. And I've already got that table pulled in. If you recall, electrically I was able to move that table in. The table, I'll show you what it looks like when it's popped out and put all the way in for in motion. If you wanted to sit at the dining room, you still could do that as well. But there's one side, and then here's the other. The one sad thing is you won't be able to do any vacuuming while you're driving down the road because it covers up the kick plate for the central vac. So you'll just have to wait to do housework until you stop. On that note, fire up your generator while you're driving, run all of your ACs, and go do a few loads of laundry. I rarely have any laundry left by the time we get to our following destination. So for those of you that have pets, plenty of walking room here, and then this table does come out, so you could still sit here, but it does go back in really nicely. And then on top of it, most importantly, full access to your restroom. So this is a really, really impressive amount of space, especially given that you have this beautiful stainless steel farm style sink. The fact that they've been able to incorporate this high level of design and functionality into this RV without taking away all of your walking space is really, really impressive. I know I forgot to say this. I have so many comments about not having an oven. I swear, folks, this is an oven. It really is. It's an oven. 350 degrees, Toll House cookies just for me every time you visit. I promise you it will work. If you want to put it to the test, try it out. Bring me some cookies. If you want to microwave a burrito, I like those too. So you can do both here. And I think that that's a good, nice way to kind of wrap up this video on this RV. Jody and I are going to squeeze out. I don't know if you saw, but we did get that, that chair back in. Of course, we couldn't have done this demo if we couldn't. I'm just a little technologically challenged, so Jody just did it with his leg and made me look really dumb. He just did it off camera, which was very kind of him, so thanks, Jody. Thanks for the kindness. Also optional on this coach was massage seats. Yeah, so, I mean, who doesn't need a massage seat when they're driving 8 hours cross country? I mean, there you go. Okay, a few little things to cover as we exit. Some little drawer storage here, so you've got a place to keep your wallet and such. I do have a lot of people who ask, do the seats turn around? Yes, they're massaging, they turn around, they're recliners, and there is also a really nice step cover, so Fifi will not fall into the step while she's driving. No, and you shouldn't keep her there while you're driving underneath there either. That would be mean. You could do it though. You could open the door, close the cover, and then put your dog in there, and they would never get out. Just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding. I would never do that to my... By the way, I have 3 French Bulldogs. If you're looking for a new dog to go camping with, don't buy a French Bulldog. They follow no directions and they will just run away. But they're really, really awesome. So side, this is the, oh honey, shit, we lost the Jeep camera. No, hopefully you don't have that experience, but yes, you do have access to all of your cameras here. I know we turned that off earlier, but so you would be able to see behind you. You could also see the trailer camera. And then this is just, of course, everyone these days works too much and is always on their laptop. So this is just a nice place to be able to do some work while you're driving. And you know, it's honestly, it's a great place just to have a sandwich. Oh, we have a question. Hi, question. What do we have?
Is there a max temp on the oven?
Is there a max temp on the oven? I don't know the answer to that question. I will find out and put it in my comments. I'm going to guess that it's 450 or 500. I've never seen anything go over 500, but I'll find out what that max temp for you is. And so I'll answer the question with yes, there's a max temp. Do I know what it is? No. Can I find out for you? 100%. I will do that. Good question, though. I've never even thought about that. Okay, so hey, check it out. Where are we now? I know they had an extra fire extinguisher back there. Very responsible people. Lock and unlock for all of your cabinets underneath. Battery disconnect right here, easy to get to. I'll show you the chassis disconnect in a second. But look at these HWH steps. So, oh, Jody, go inside. Can we hear the doorbell? Oh, no, we can't hear it. Oh, yeah, how is that? I mean, okay, I hate to tell you this, but that's like the coolest doorbell ever. Only on the King Air. So again, don't forget, this is a special exterior paint job. But look at how these steps go all the way down. This is so nice. They're so sturdy. Of course, you've got your keypad entry and your doorbell, and this little light here illuminates so you can always find the door of your coach no matter how many margaritas you've had. Just kidding, maybe. Oh, let's take a look here. So I love this screen. It's super nice. But not only does everyone know that you have a King Air when you see the mirrored finish when it's open, but they still know it when it's closed because you have your little crown insignia. So yeah, that's pretty, I don't know, pretty over the top. Good job, Newmar. Love what you do. Okay, we'll close that. You'll notice we have the chrome door handles throughout the coach. So that's just this beautiful finish that you see here, very high end. But take a look underneath here. Do you want to wash your RV yourself? No. But if you've got kids, you could have them do it because there's everything that you need right there. There's your road wave, all of your original manuals as well. And then this is a dual fill, so you've got tank fill on both sides, so you can stop and fill up both sides. I do recommend that you do that. It's much faster. The tanks will take forever if you do one at a time, so always do both simultaneously. And I think, trying to remember, I sold my RV about 4 weeks ago and I'm waiting for my new one to come in. I don't get it until November, so it's been really agonizing. So for those of you out there who don't have an RV yet, I feel ya, man. Not having one's really been tough. But yeah, I think you do this side first, then the other side, then turn it on, and it just goes super fast. You can fill your DEF at the same time. This RV has a 15-gallon DEF tank. I don't know if I said that or not. Storage bays. So holy macaroni, once again. Look at the size of these storage bays. So these go out, you'll have about 60% access on this bay when it's all the way out. I won't show you all of these all the way out because they're all the same. They all have a 1,000-pound weight rating, but you can access the middle of them from either side, I think is the most important point. And they're really, really nice because you can really get everything organized, loaded up, and then it's all going to stay in place because there's a little lip on each side. People have asked me, do they take up more room than if you didn't have the trays in there? Absolutely, but they also provide a certain level of access that's also handy. So kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Again, more storage bays as well. Another Easy Glide, once again power, still that 1,000-pound weight rating. So in 2021 we have a dual capacity Dometic, and I'll tell you, there's a few different ways to look at that. So you do have dual capacity or dual chamber. I really think you get a little more space though with this single chamber. So I really like this. This is a freezer, and then you would put anything that you wanted to keep cold, like water bottles, up here in the refrigerator section. So that's how that one works. Of course, nice and on a slide. And then Jody, in this cabin, you can see there's a lot of things going on electronically, but what I like to show is that hydronic heating module right back there. That is your tankless hot water heater. That is your Oasis system. We will see that on the other side, but that's just the back side of that. And all of your bypass switches and everything are right here in this cabin. So very, very cool. Newmar just does a great job of making everything hyper accessible. Oh, and most importantly, your dirt devil. So if you need to vacuum your children before you let them go into the RV, you can vacuum them outside. Just kidding. Don't vacuum your children. Don't lock your dog in the stairwell. These are all just jokes, folks. Don't get me in trouble, please. So I don't think I mentioned inside, we've got Bose sound bars throughout this coach, but you've got your beautiful, very large Sony television outside here, as well as your sound bar. You can listen to the radio, you can listen to the television, you can put your huge awnings out on both sides and have like the best game day ever. By the way, if you're watching this on Friday, tune in, home game, go Broncos on Sunday. So that's really exciting. These are those Carefree awning packages. So there's an awning there with lights, there's an awning here, there's an awning here above that window, and then there's two huge awnings all with LED lights as well. If you'd like me to make a video of that for you, I would be happy to. I shoot a lot of videos on my phone. So again, my name is Katie O'Neill. If you watch the intro, I give you my cell phone. I can text you a video of just about anything that you need from an information standpoint. So for some people, this is where you would keep your cleaning supplies. I say that this is a really nice place for all of your outdoor bar supplies. You've got top shelf, plenty of room for mixers. I mean, do it however you want, but that would be my recommendation. So this is another cabinet that's really interesting. So this has, as you can see, 8 batteries in it. And then on the other side, there's another 8 batteries. So this coach comes standard with 16 6-volt AGM batteries, and they're all wired together to act as one very large bank of batteries. So again, this coach has so much power, not just to the wheels, but overall, electronically, it's got a ton of power. So very, very capable RV. I mentioned earlier that tag axle and how it kind of acts as a cantilever and gives you a better turning radius. All of those things are true. This is that beautiful tag, very, very much prowess. Here's that 15-gallon DEF tank as well. Easy fill. And then just to the left of that, you'll catch our 2 chassis batteries as well as our battery disconnect. So this is where we would turn the chassis off. You've got the house disconnect right at the door, very easy access. Come back here to the rear chamber, also very easy access. And as you can see, a lot of people will make comments that the seals on these Newmar doors are always very, very thick. And so sometimes they're harder to close. One of the benefits about buying a 2017 is, not only are you going to save, $350,000, but on top of it, you're also not going to have to break in the door. Someone's already done that for you. So they close really easy on the first attempt. There's that K3 600 horsepower engine. Again, 1,950 50 foot-pounds of torque. So huge, huge torque at a very low 1,200 RPM. So super, super awesome for those of you that want to tow. As you can see, you've got your rear view camera for your 360 overhead. You've got your backup camera. You've got your plug-in here for your air brakes. You've got your trailer. You've got your Voyager camera system. You've got all of your wiring for your lights. You got this really big hitch. You got your fantastic Newmar mud flap down below. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous coach. And I hear that we have another question. Go ahead.
Can they get lithium batteries on these coaches?
Yes, all you have to do is buy a 2021 RV. The new King Air comes with 2 lithium-ion battery banks. It's about 700 pounds lighter. They spent all of that on granite, but it is possible, but you would definitely need to do that new model. And it's fantastic. If you're interested in learning more about that, certainly tune in to one of, I think I've got 4 King Air videos up this year just for 2021 alone. So take a look at any of those. But yes, you could absolutely get a King Air with lithium ion batteries. It would not be this one. It would have to be a 2021, but that is available. That is the only offering by Newmar with lithium ion batteries. And before you go down the road of lithium ion batteries, if you have a few minutes and you'd like to chat and hear a little bit more about my thoughts, I sell a lot of coaches with lithium ion batteries, and I sell a lot without, and I certainly have an opinion, and I'd love to share that with you. So give me a call, we can talk. Radiator right here. Oh, we didn't talk about the dang it door, Jody. Should we go back in and start over again? No, he says no. So you do have an egress door here that opens. There's a magnetic panel on that is removable. A ladder deploys. You can put it back up, take it back down. Very, very nice feature on this RV. So if there's a fire for some reason and you don't feel like jumping out of the window, you can go ahead and just take a nice little, yeah, it's in the bathroom right behind the toilet. Sorry about that, folks. I forget stuff. Here's the other filling side for that DEF tank. So again, really easy to fill, dual fill. This little bad boy here, this is for your sewer hose if you were to need one. This coach does have the optional SantaCon system, so you probably won't, but you could keep an extra in there, I guess. Here are those other 8 batteries. So again, a total of 16 AGM batteries. This would definitely be my preference. If I was looking at lithium versus AGM, I would hedge towards AGM personally. I did in the coach that I have on order through Newmar currently. So like I said, if you got questions about that, call me, we could chat. I love here, again, our SantaCon system, our whole house filter. This means that our water coming out of the refrigerator is dual filtered. You'll notice that we have a nice covered bay for our paper towels. They won't get wet and yucky. You've got your gray water holding tank drain outlet right here. You've got everything very, very nicely labeled, and then as you can see, it's engraved, so it's not going to come off over time. This is all engraved into the plastic, so you're not going to, find that you don't have a good, you don't have a rub off where you can't see what something's for. And then just to the left here is the Mana Block system. So this system is really unique to only the King Air and the Essex. So as you can see, if you've got any kind of leak, you could actually turn your hot or cold water off at that specific location. So very much an advanced water system, something a lot of people that have an Essex or a King Air will not leave behind after they've had it. So I've never had the luxury, so maybe one of these days. Of course, you've got your city water is on power reel, which is very nice and important. And then speaking of power, we'll go here to this next compartment where we've got our 50 amp cord, of course, also on power. And then those 2 3,000 watt inverters you can see right here. So that is again a feature that is unique to only the King Air. So 16 batteries and 2 3,000 watt inverters are only available for the King Air. And again, the back side of these storage trays, if the slide was to be all the way out, they would come out far enough that you would be able to still load and unload them even with your full wall slide completely extended. And keep in mind, look at the color of this paint. This client nailed it. I mean, it's a really, really beautiful coach. Lots of these taupes and beiges, very easy to maintain and take care of. Does not show dirt. Just a really spectacular look for this Newmar. And like I said, they've broken those doors for you. You owe them big time. Another huge amount of storage up here. This is probably where I keep my firewood in my barbecue grill, maybe my Outlander fire pit. Here in Colorado where we have a lot of fire bans, it's a super nice thing to have. And then here is that last Carefree awning. You'll see that covers the entire kitchen and the entire dinette and lounge area for your coach. So keeping that heat out no matter where you're camping, even if you're in the desert, on both sides. So you've got nice sun protection on both sides of your RV without even having your Girard awnings out. Here's your second fueling station here. And then I don't have the RV on, so I'm not going to be able to pop out the front cap to show you where the generator is, but I can show you Well, let's see if I can do it. I don't know. Yeah, so it has to be on for me to extend that. But this is where you would extend that. Anyone have a vote on whether or not I should run around and just turn that on real quick just to show it? We have a few seconds. I think it's pretty interesting. So I'll just take a few extra seconds and run in here and open the door, turn on the engine. You don't have to start the coach to do this. You just have to have the accessory power on. So I'll do that real quick. Sorry for the lag time, guys. But there we go. Oh, well, why not fire her up, right? Let's go ahead and start up. Oh, and by the way, I said 21,000 miles earlier. I lied on live television. It's 23,079 miles on this coach. So this RV has 23,000 miles on it, not 21,000 miles on it. Accuracy is always important. There's just so much to remember during these live videos. There we go. Yeah, I just think this is so cool. So again, this is a 12.5 kilowatt own and quiet diesel generator. Super, super awesome right there. And on the left, you can see our big air horns. So if anyone's in your way, and Jody, I'm gonna run in there. I'm gonna tell everybody what the gen hours are because we can do that. So 507 total hours on the gen, so 507 gen hours. Like I said, this coach is so incredibly nice, so well taken care of, so clean. For any of you who are out there in the RV market looking for anything, I mean, if you're thinking that you might want to buy a London Aire, give me a call because you can get a really, really nice King Aire with all of the best bells and whistles, a bunch of special order features, great paint job, beautiful interior, all the original equipment here at Transwest for under $600,000. Again, my name is Katie O'Neill. We're looking at stock number 5U210889. Again, 5U210889. We're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. Please find us on YouTube. Find all of our videos. We do a video every day of the week. And you can always reach me if you'd like me to send you a specific vehicle. I've got most of them I've already done videos on, and I'm easily reached at 303-562-8659. Again, 303-562-8659. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for tuning in. Thank you for all of your questions today. I hope to hear more from you, and happy camping.